Everything you want to know about living in Katy, Texas is what we're going to cover today. You've been probably Googling, is Katy, Texas a good place to live at midnight? Haven't you? And every article you find either tells you it's the most perfect suburb on the planet or it scares you half to death about the I-10 traffic as well as the flood. And you're sitting there thinking, okay, but what's the actual truth, Natasha? This is a complete, honest, zero-fluff guide to living in Katy, Texas. And trust me, it's honest because I live in Katy, Texas myself. Now let's get into it. Hi, I'm Natasha Carroll here with Natasha Carroll Realty. I help families from all over the country relocate to the greater Houston area every single day. I've walked through more Katy homes, driven more Katy streets, and had more honest conversations about this area than most people would have in a lifetime. And here's what I've learned. The families who move to Katy and absolutely love it are the ones who understand that they're actually getting here before anyone else. The ones who struggle. They've moved based on headline or ranking lists, and they skip the nuances, which is very important. We're diving into everything from schools and the 2026 housing costs to flooding and commute times. Basically everything you need to know before you decide to make a move. If you find this helpful, please like and subscribe for weekly boost on the ground Houston suburb updates, and stay tuned until the end for a resource that will save you weeks of research. Let's get into the full picture, I would say, of living in Katy, Texas. First part is the city that outgrew itself. Geography plus location. Before we talk about anything else, you need to understand what Katy actually is. The city of Katy itself has about 28,000 residents, but the broader Katy area is far larger and stretches across Harris County, Fort Bend, and Waller County. Katy sits on about 30 miles west of downtown Houston. It hugs Interstate I-10 and what locals just call the Katy Freeway. And it expands both north and south from there. The Grand Parkway, also known as Highway 99, cuts through the middle of Katy, and it becomes the defining line between established Katy to the east and new Katy to the west. So here's the thing that most relocation guides won't tell you. Where you land within Katy changes your entire experience of living there. Katy is not one place. It's a collection of communities that all exist under the same name, of course. East of Grand Parkway, you've got those vibey, established neighborhoods with mature trees and shorter commutes. Hit the south of I-10 corridor for heavy hitter master plan communities like Cinco Ranch. But if you're looking for brand new construction and those insane lagoon communities everyone's talking about, west of Grand Parkway is where the absolute, I would say, explosion is happening right now in the Katy area. So when someone asks me, what is it like to live in Katy? My first question back is always, which part? Because that answer shapes everything that comes next when thinking about that question. We're going to talk about the reputation of Katy isn't built on accident. The Katy ISD story. If you asked almost any family why they're moving to Katy, the first thing out of their mouth is going to be Katy Independent School District. And I don't blame them one bit. According to Niche 2026 ranking, Katy ISD earned consistently ranks amongst the top related school districts in the Houston area. On sites like Niche, 5 years running, that is not a fluke. That is a system that has figured something out that others just haven't. Let me give you the numbers. According to Katy ISD directly, the district now serves nearly 97,000 students across 80 campuses. By 2029 or 2030, projections show enrollment hitting 100,000 students, making it one of the fastest growing large districts in the country. And despite that growth, they are still outperforming their peers. Unbelievable stats. Now, here's something I want to be honest about, because it matters when you're actually buying a home. Not every campus performs identically. The zoning pattern of which elementary feeds into which junior high, which feeds into which high school, that feeder pattern matters enormously and varies, of course, by neighborhood. Seven Lakes High School ranks second in the Houston area according to Niche. Tompkins is fifth. Cinco Ranch High School comes in at 11th. These are outstanding options, but you need to know which schools your specific address is zoned to before you buy. Do not assume. That has been a mistake for many people moving here. The school system is genuinely world-class, but world-class doesn't mean identical across every single address. Keep that in mind. The master plan they actually follow, neighborhoods and lifestyle, is what we're going to talk about next. What makes Katy genuinely unlike most suburb markets in America is the quality and the scale of its master plan communities. I've been doing this long enough that I can tell you the difference between a development that calls itself master plan and one that actually is. Katy has the real thing. Let me walk you through the landscape so you know what you're choosing between. We're going to start. Cinco Ranch is the gold standard of established Katy. You've got lakes, you've got trails, resort-style pools, a fitness center, and the beloved Elyson Cafe right inside of the community. Homes here typically, they start from $300,000 and can stretch up to $900,000 for premium lakeside properties. Cane Island sits just north of I-10 and has a personality of its own. Resort pools, a fitness center, a dog park, and a community events that actually brings the neighbors together. What I love about Cane Island is that it feels intentional in a way that some communities, they just don't. The landscaping, the common areas, the sense of design is cohesive and premium without feeling, I would say, over the top. Then there's Sunterra. Sunterra features a crystal lagoon, which is a massive resort-style amenity with white sand beaches, paddleboarding, kayaking, and vacation every weekend vibe that buyers from out of state often can't believe exists in a suburb. And for those looking at older, more value-focused options, communities like Kellywood, Nottingham Country, Grand Lakes, they offer established living at lower tax price points. Here's the bottom line on neighborhoods. You have options across a huge range of price points, ages, and lifestyle orientations. But what you don't have in Katy is one universal experience. You have to pick the community with intention, because your community becomes your daily life. So always keep that in mind. Now, let's pause for a second. We've already seen that Katy is massive, the schools are top tier, and the lifestyle is unmatched in Houston. But none of that tells you the real talk details. What are you actually going to pay on a monthly basis? Can you truly handle the commute? And what happens when a hurricane hits? These are the high-stake questions that usually takes months of stress to figure out when you're from out of state. That's exactly why I put together a free location guide for the greater Houston area. It breaks down everything you need to know and the insider stuff that you genuinely cannot find on Zillow or on Google. And it's completely free. The link is in the description below. So go and grab it, of course, after the video. It will save you an enormous amount of time. Of course, it's gonna save you confusion. Let's get into the part that most people want to talk about. A lot of agents they dance around it. The real cost of living in Katy. And I would say one of the second most important, the truth about the commute. The math nobody shows you, plus the property taxes, plus the real cost is what we're going to talk about next. Let's talk money. Because in Katy, the home price is only one piece of what you actually spending every month. According to the 2026 data for Redfin and Zillow, median prices set between $320 to $351, but in areas like Cinco Ranch, that average jumps to $520,000. While the value here is great compared to the rest of the country, there's a catch that blindsides out-of-state buyers. Texas has zero income tax, which is a massive win for your paycheck. However, the state gets its cut through property taxes. In established spots like Nottingham Country, you're looking at a rate of 2.5%, but in newer communities like Elyson and Sunterra, mud bonds can push that rate as high as 3.6%. Katy is genuinely affordable, but you have to fall in love with the monthly total, not just the list price. Keep that in mind, because you're gonna live with the monthly total forever. Here's the real picture of living in Katy in 2026, I would say. It's not one neighborhood, it's a collection of distinct communities, each with its own vibe, schools, tax rate, commute reality. The Katy ISD advantage is very real. 5 straight years as Houston's top ranked district and 1% nationally. And that's still the #1 reason families choose Katy over any of the other suburbs. The master plan lifestyles is hard to beat. Whether it's established feel of Cinco Ranch, the newer energy of Elyson and Cane Island, or the resort style experience of Sunterra. Amenities here compete anywhere in Houston. Now, the math. In Katy, the home price is only one piece of the puzzle. While value here is incredible, there is Texas math that you need to understand before you fall in love with a listing. There's the Energy Corridor commute, very manageable. Downtown or the medical center, it's doable, but it's a commitment. The bottom line, Katy is exceptional for families who want top schools, they want space, they want community, and access to the West Houston job centers. It is less ideal if you want walkability or quickly daily drive to the urban core. That's the full, honest picture that you really need to be aware of course. So if you're serious about moving to Katy and you want this level of honesty throughout the entire process, not just on YouTube, of course, that's exactly what my team and I do. And don't leave without grabbing my free location guide. It's linked below and includes everything you need to feel prepared before you decide to make any decision about your move to Katy. If you want to go deeper, watch my next video on 5 huge changes coming to Katy, Texas in 2026 infrastructure, new communities, and the developing pipeline shaping the next several years. Let's make sure you move smart, always, and be informed. I'm Natasha Carroll. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.